What's going on? How's everybody doing? Welcome to King David Super Show. King's Thought of the Day. This is our third episode. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Thank everybody for all the support. I got my man T-Swin here on the show. T-Swin, are you here? Yo.
Yes, sir. T-Swin in the building, man.
Yeah. Partner
One
in
and
crime.
only, your favorite rapper and expediter. Man,
man.
be on the lookout for transportation music, man. Follow me, man. tswin.herenow.com, man. Follow my music.
I just want to say thank you for everybody. I just want to, in all seriousness, thank you for everybody, for all the likes, the comments, the subscriptions, the support on all other platforms. We are on us, not me, us. Okay. T-Swin Music, right? Want to make sure I'm correct.
Yes, sir.
T-Swin Music and The Real King David. We are on Spotify, iTunes, Pandora, SiriusXM, Stitcher. What is it?
Iheart
Radio,
Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Apple Podcast.
Pretty amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we have been in music for 20 plus years, and it's like, I could just say just for myself, I just feel very satisfied, that I actually have a platform, that I could actually just kind of just be myself and continue to try to, at least help people. You just kind of identify, just normal day-to-day things, just some things that, sometimes you got to ask yourself, or sometimes you're thinking this, but you never hear somebody else kind of, bring that to light. It's like, man, I always thought that, I always felt like I was the only one that used to think like that, so, I just feel very just complete, doing this. So for me, this is very therapeutic. This is kind of like, I had a conversation the other day. It was like, the show to me, the King's Thought of the Day, to me, it feels kind of, it's like chicken soup for the soul, if we can, kind of identify a topic, or if you have a topic, we welcome it, So today, this is kind of, I can definitely, this is kind of, deep for me, the topic is baggage from the past, and
can equal damage in your future.
Exactly. Yeah. Can equal to or damage your future. You know what I'm saying? So you got to ask yourself, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? Baggage from the past, can equal or damage your future. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's basically can. Can means can or will, future tense means it can happen if you don't identify or address the issue at hand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Baggage, we all have baggage. None of us are perfect. We all have traumas. We all have life experiences. You know what I'm saying? Life experiences or traumas are caused by triggers. You know what I'm saying? I personally, because I am a very analytical person. I'm kind of like the best guinea pig of them all. I did not have an easy life. I went through a lot of traumatic experiences. I've witnessed, loss, death. Almost the brink of bankruptcy more than 3 times. I've lost everything more than once. You know what I'm saying?
You lost some good people along the way.
Yeah, I've lost, and I've lost everything, in the result of people, people I can't replace. I lost the woman that I loved, God rest her soul. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, sometimes people go through traumatic experiences to kind of hopefully help you get over that hump. But some people refuse to even address it, Some people refuse to address it, and they just choose to suppress their feelings, and then say you get involved with somebody who has, these kind of suppressed feelings. It's kind of difficult to even try to cohabitate with them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because you
cohabitate, interact with them, have anything kind of serious with them. Yeah.
I I've experienced that, with my first wife. She was very damaged. And, like I said in the previous show, I thought I could fix her. I just didn't realize how bad the knife cut. I didn't realize how bad it was. And it just got to the point where I had to kind of throw my hands up,
Yeah.
She was just on the brink she was just on a downward spiral, and it was just complete self-sabotage. There was nothing that I could do to try to remedy her pain. There was nothing that I could do that could fix, what she went through. You know what I'm saying? And so the problem is like her baggage basically damaged my future because I'm over here trying to fix it and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't fix it.
Yeah.
And a lot of men,
Yeah.
especially, alpha men, we take that very personal, at least me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I took that very personal because it's like, this is the woman that I loved. And I'm like, and she's in pain and I'm trying to fix it. And so I took that very hard that I couldn't, I tried to, I tried my best to bring her happiness, to, provide, gifts, compliments, just time, moral support, trips, this, that, and the other. It was like a vortex.
Like a bottomless pit, bro.
Pit. Yes.
Yeah.
It was a bottomless pit. And there was nothing that I could do that would satisfy this woman. It was never enough. So the thing is like, if you're a man and you're in this position, you're just like, dude, what the fuck? You're kind of almost at the brink of collapse. And that's what happened. Yeah. That is what happened. There was nothing that I could do to please this woman. And what I finally, years after the fact, what I finally realized was there was nothing I could do for this woman. There's nothing that I could do. And I had to stop blaming myself for something I could not change. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it takes a lot of strength, man, to just like recognize that for yourself and see that
life experience.
Yeah. And hopefully you got somebody in your corner that can give you some game. But it for you to recognize what's going on and say, man, I'm doing everything I can. I've done the best that I could do. There's no helping this person.
Right. Exactly.
You know I have access to the help that or outlets that could possibly change the situation, but they're not willing to participate or acknowledge them.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So that was a knife that cut me deep. It took me years to get past that. I mean, it might be, sound embarrassing, but I mean, it is what it is. I went through it and it was hard, I'm saying? And I took that very personal because I took that as failure. I thought that I failed. Yeah. I thought that I failed in my marriage because I couldn't fix her. I couldn't help her, and, so the thing is this traumatized me.
Oh yeah.
This fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? Where I was not easy to be with. I was the damaged person in my next relationships, as in plural. As in plural. I was damaged. Yeah. I was the one who was fucked up because that traumatized me where it's like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Because I honestly took offense to that. I truly just kind of took that like okay, I failed. And then of course that affects your self-esteem. Yeah. That affects, how you interact with women, where you kind of come off as very meek and shy instead of alpha and assertive. You know what I'm saying? And then what ends up happening is you start accepting below the bar. Yeah. You attract. What happens is I at least I can speak for myself. I attracted below the bar of what I deserved. You feel me? Yeah. And that's when you're, and of course, where does that lead us? The butt naked, So, yeah. So I spent, years of my life just kind of like below the bar with below the bar women because I just didn't have that self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like a fucking failure. You know what I'm saying?
I can say another thing to add to that too is if you didn't have an example. Say if you don't have a good example of what a healthy relationship or a healthy marriage looks like coming up, and then you get into a relationship and you think that this is how it's supposed to go because this is your first experience. You know what I'm saying? And then so you don't know any better. Then you go into the next relationship, and like they say, the saying goes, "Hurt people hurt people."
Exactly.
So if you know, you may not know that you're doing anything wrong because your first experience was some traumatic stuff, and now you going into that next relationship with that luggage. You know what I'm saying? But you have to have a healthy example so you can kind of gauge or weigh it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, here's the crazy part. Here's like you said, hurt people hurt people. Crazy knows crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is like, you know, it takes one to know one. So it's like some people will accept somebody that are fucking psycho because that's all they're used to. It's like, well, she's crazy, but I can deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
The saying is that crazy girls got the best sex. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to attest to that.
And I'll be like,
that's very true.
Like,
yeah. Yes, that is very true.
So that's why they stick around. So you stick around with them so long.
Oh, the bitch is crazy, but goddamn, the bitch is crazy, but goddamn, woo, you know. But
and they know that too. They know that too.
Yeah, they know. They'll throw it on you right when you're at the door. Like, wait. Let's work it out. Yeah.
And then you laying there looking at the ceiling. After you done let it go, you laying there in the bed looking at the ceiling like, I know I should have left. I was about to pack my stuff up, man.
This is the look. It's like this. Why did I do this? It's like this. Why? I was on my way out. I was free. Freedom.
I said them 3 magic words. I love you.
I love you. And that's all it takes. Or, you know, the fucked up part is with women, you don't even have to say I love you. All you gotta do is fuck. That means you're back together again.
Yeah, all you gotta do is knock it out the box.
Yeah, all you gotta do is knock it down. No, I don't care if you're broken up or not. You're back together.
Yeah.
If you fuck during a breakup process, that's automatic. You
made up makeup sex.
Yeah. No. What do you call it when you sign a contract and you renewed your contract?
Yeah.
Yeah. Makeup sex is renewal of contract.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at least in their mind it is.
And it can
be
why?
Because crazy knows crazy.
Yeah.
Because crazy knows crazy.
It could be mistaken for an extended lease.
Oh no, it's totally misconstrued as an extended lease. But so yeah, man. So like so from there it's like, I took that shit really hard. My parents didn't like her. They had every reason to not like her. They kind of saw things because their age and their maturity and their life experience kind of saw further than what I saw. I was just kind of looking at the pretty package.
Yeah.
I was looking at the shit in the pretty package. They were just looking at the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, all right, it was what it was. And, and I blame myself. I mean, I am the blame because I didn't have the proper upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like T-Swin says, you have to have the proper upbringing with the right role models to be able to give you some game on what you should tolerate and what you should not tolerate. I never had that opportunity. I was always running from one toxic environment to the next, And, when I was 16 years old, I had no business doing the shit that I was doing. I thought that I had life figured out and I was dating older women. Technically, I mean, this shit was illegal. The women that I was involved with when I was 16, she was like 26 or 27. The shit was fucking illegal. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you remember, it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like the shit I was doing was wrong. I was exposed to the wrong shit. I was basically being manipulated by an older woman when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was 15 years old and she was engaging me when I was 15 and she was 25. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this shit is wrong. When you're a man now, you're like, oh yeah, man, it's all good. No, dude, this shit is wrong.
It's wrong either way.
Because if the shoe was on the other foot, I would want the motherfucker dead. If I had a daughter, right? If I had a daughter and I found out that somebody close to my family who was 25 years old has been like kind of having those kinds of feelings towards her, I'd cut his dick off. Honestly, I'd have the motherfucker killed because it's like in my mind, it's like, dude, you can't get somebody your own age.
Yeah.
You can't get somebody your own age. So it's like, so
and women, it's like automatic for them to get sex. They could just meet a stranger and say, hey, you want some? So if you messing with kids, you got an issue.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, this shit fucking happened to me when I was like 15, 16 years old. I was dealing with this, with this older woman who basically manipulated me into thinking like things were what they weren't. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of all I knew. So the crazy part was when this is kind of my traumatic experience. So when I'm 16 years old, I'm with this grown woman who's taking care of me and all these other things. So I'm kind of thinking like it's all good. So then one day she's kind of telling me, nah, you need to go find somebody your own age and this, that, and the other. She was kind of like having fun with me. And I'm like, at the time, I'm like, puppy love. And I'm like, I don't get it. I thought you said you love me. This, that, and the other. So then when I met the woman that I married, because and the crazy part was the woman that I married was 8 years older than me. So I'm 19. So me and her together from 16 to 18, 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm dealing with her and I'm dealing with the woman that I married. I'm fucking both of them at the same time. And I'm like, all right, man, it's all good. This, that, and the other, but in all actuality, when one met the other, because they met, they crossed paths and they both hated each other. And they both kind of knew. It's like, so she accused me, how long you been fucking her? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I know you're fucking her. I know you're fucking her. You know what I'm saying? That and the other. But the crazy part was, it's like I never really had that opportunity to actually date a woman my own age. You know what I'm saying? So my whole childhood from 15 to probably 19 was warped. You know what I'm saying? It was warped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm being manipulated by older women to for whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And they're telling me that they love me, and they're over here trying to make me think like we're gonna have a future together. And in all actuality, they're just playing me. You know what I'm saying? While they got other dudes on the side and this thing. Because I knew she did. I knew she did because she told me. She told me. It's like, yeah, I got a main dude. I got a sugar daddy. And you're kind of like, my little something on the side.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But the thing was, I accepted that. Now, if I had a father,
you kicked to the curb ASAP.
You fucking no, my father was like, all right, you go and knock that down, but don't take that shit serious. Mm-hmm. But if a woman ever talks to you like that, ever, as if like you're plan B, or as if like you're not, the king of the castle, it's curtains.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've been very quiet about this pretty much the majority of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta be, man. Somebody has to show you what your value is. You got to say, okay,
yeah,
this is how you treat yourself. This is how you respect yourself. This is what your value is.
Yeah.
Know that you the prize. If you add into their life, you the prize.
Exactly. So for years and years and years of my life, because I lacked, a father, I lacked male role models that could truly, honestly teach me how to handle a woman. I subjected myself to being, traumatized. I subjected myself to being taken advantage of by older women, throughout my teenage years, throughout my teenage years, which basically kind of just robbed me of kind of like innocence. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's all I knew. So whenever I met women my own age, I didn't want to talk to them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of felt like I robbed myself of years of my life, but at the same time, I'm being traumatized, because, in my mind, I thought this woman loved me, and now she's telling me that she wants to leave me. And I'm like, bro, like, I remember, man, I was just like, I was fucking like in a very dark place. It put me in a very dark place where I wanted to hurt myself, because she said she wanted to leave me, and I wanted to hurt myself to kind of make her stay. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know my worth.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this out there for a bunch of dudes, man. Some people, man, they get attached. Sometimes some guys, when they get their first piece, they think that's it. That's the only person. That's the only woman in the world. That's the only woman for them. Yeah. And they get attached. That woman means everything to them. They're damn kill themselves, like as we talking about. And man, go out there, see the world, get in other relationships. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Recognize your worth.
Have as many of them as
I used to work with a guy, man. We were 18, 19 years old. He had a girlfriend. He was in love with her. He found out she cheated, and he wouldn't commit suicide. Threw his whole life away at the age of 18. It wasn't worth it. She wasn't worth it. She sure wasn't worth it. She was loose. She was out there giving it to many people she could. And if he would just had somebody in his corner or recognize, his value, he'd have lived another day and recognized that wasn't nothing to worry about and lived his life.
Exactly.
But that girl meant everything to him, and this boy jumped off a cliff. 18 years old.
I remember in high school, that one guy who shot himself at the stadium parking lot because the girl, that cheerleader didn't take him to homecoming.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's like, I understand, but at that time we were in such a different era, like when you were in a committed relationship, at least in your mind, if you were in a committed relationship, that was your life. That's what it was. We were, at least when we grew up, at least when I grew up, when I was with somebody, I thought we were thinking, okay, we're picking fences. We're going to get married. This is what it is. This is what it was. People today were not as, what's the word? Loose. There's another word for loose. Promiscuous,
Yeah.
They weren't so promiscuous or so blatant the way they are today, about who they are and how little you're worth. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you could literally be with somebody, one day, and literally the next day you'll see them with somebody else. And I said this before in our previous video. I remember I said there was this girl that I dated,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
You talking about, and you get out the phone with it and you see her online with somebody else.
Yeah, you know who we're talking about. Yeah, so it was like literally like we would have an intimate conversation about our future or prospective future, and literally the next day, I would see her on social media in another state with another man. By that time, I've already kind of figured it out. I'm like, you know what, man, because I'm in my late 30s, when this happened. By that time, it's just like, and this is kind of like why I told her, like from jump, like, look, we can never be together because you're full of shit.
Yeah, but shoot, as we got older, we know that women like to string guys along. Yeah. Like you say, they'll drain resources from you, whether that's your time, your attention, your affection, or your money. Or they will. If they can keep you in a certain zone, because they all got little pockets and little sections they put us in and categories they put us in.
They don't want a relationship. They want a trick.
They got one guy for protection. They got one guy for money. They got one guy for friendship. They got one guy for therapy, together, so they can open up and talk to.
So all together, we're a conglomerate of the perfect man.
And then they got their job husband or their job boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't number one, move on.
Yeah. So, but for me, like that really kind of fucked me up. I mean, like I'm like for real, that fucked me up, and it kind of put me on a downward spiral, for about 5-10 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It took me a very, very, very long time, and it took me a very, very, very long time of self. What's the word?
I had to really,
it took years. I just kind of stopped talking to people. You know what I'm saying? I stopped talking to people for about 5 years. Just stop not trying to pursue women. Just like, you know what? I was just like asking myself, like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with me? You know what I'm saying? And then I started kind of, looking at these traumatic experiences that I went through and these triggers, these things that I could identify as like, fuck, I'm like, I always kind of felt a certain kind of way, and it all backtracked, to a trigger. So whenever I felt this kind of way, I could backtrack to a trigger, and, and the main thing was we would allow the, people, women, family, you know what I'm saying, to tap dance on your fucking triggers, and it would get an emotional response out of you, you know, and you have to kind of just come to the point where you can't allow people to control you by tap dancing on your triggers. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn to numb those motherfuckers, or you have to understand that people are trying to maneuver you by tap dancing on your triggers, pulling the strings. You know what I'm saying? They're controlling you, So, I mean, that was my baggage. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just kind of just talking about myself. Yeah, it might be a little, embarrassing, but I mean, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? But it took me years to get past it. And I mean, granted, I'm a stronger person. I see it a mile away, because I've been through it. So that's why that's why I am the way that I am now. You know what I'm saying? Because I can address the issue, for myself. I can address the issue when I see it.
Yeah.
So whenever somebody's doing it or somebody's guilty of it, I can corner them, and they can try to talk their way, talk into circles. I'm like, look, you ain't getting out of this. I got you. You know what I'm saying? And the problem is now is whenever you catch somebody, when you address them with their demons or whatever it is, they don't want to get over it. Some people just love their trauma. They love their misery, and misery loves what? Company.
They want to wallow in their bullshit.
Yes. And they just want to pull you down. And it's kind of like what happened with me, like what I was telling you. There was nothing I could do to fix the situation because the woman was fucking miserable. You know what I'm saying? And if you can identify that this is what it is, you have to make a decision right then and there. You could either you could try to help them address that there is an issue, or
deuce.
Yeah. Deuces. And stay away. Once you're away, you stay away.
Stay away.
You don't go back to go knock it down. Whenever Thursday night comes around and you got nothing to do, don't do that shit because you just renewed your contract.
Exactly.
You just renewed your contract.
Ignore them nude pictures she keeps sending you.
Yeah, they're gonna try to bait you. They go, you forgot your socks.
Mm-hmm.
You forgot your socks.
Hey, I had a chick one time. She say, "You left your PlayStation over here." I was like, "Shit, I bought another one." That blew her mind.
Oh, that motherfucker.
I was like, "Oh, it don't matter. I just buy another one." She's like, "What? You gonna buy? Yeah, I just buy another one. You can keep it."
Oh, dude, I would have girls that would leave their. I kind of went through a wild tear when I kind of was going through self-discovery. Here's the crazy part. Mm-hmm. Whenever you're a guy, at least, and you go through the self-discovery and you're kind of, I'm doing my Floyd Mayweather. Got clanging. All right. So whenever you're going through when I went through my self-discovery and I kind of went through my strip club phase, I wanted to go through my hoe phase because I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm scorned. You know what I'm saying? And I treated every woman like shit. I treated them all bad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't give a fuck. I just want to just fuck them all and not care and treat them like shit and this, that, and the other. And then, so the sad part is usually when you're going through that process is when you meet the best ones and you run them off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I
can honestly say, man, okay, the best woman I met, or the ones that love my dirty draws, is the ones I didn't give a damn about. The ones I wasn't paying no attention to. Exactly. That's when they show up. When you man, I'm gonna tell you this. This is my.
They always catch you the wrong time in your life.
When you give a woman the world and you treat her like a queen, you get treated like shit.
Like shit.
But boy, they act like they don't exist. Oh, they break their neck to get in front of you. They jump through hoops. It's like night and day.
But the crazy part is, here's the thing, and the sad part is it's a fucking game. It's a fucking game. If you give them what they want, they're bored. As soon as the cat catches the mouse, catch and release, they're bored. Mm-hmm. I figured you out, and I'm gonna treat you like shit. It's fucking retarded. It's fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? That we have to play this cat and mouse shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a fine line of balance, of distance, of anonymity, of respect. Of a lot of kind of things that you kind of have to tiptoe on in order to kind of maintain and control the situation. You know what I'm saying? Because they will push your fucking buttons. Oh, they will. Oh, trust me. There's some line steppers. You know what I'm saying? Especially with today's technology, because back then that shit didn't exist. I mean, we were very lucky that we experienced the evolution of technology within this 20-year frame. What was it? Beepers? What? Pagers? Cell phones? Was it fuck? Well, let's backtrack. Cordless phones, from rotary to cordless to pagers to SkyTels to cellular phones from prepaid to contract, from contract to the smartphone, from dial-up, DSL, cable, fiber optic, PlayStation, and so on and so forth.
Records and 8-tracks, the cassettes, the CDs, the laser discs, the DVDs, the CD.
It's streaming.
To streaming.
Exactly. people would not even understand, what we witnessed in 20 years. You know what I'm saying? So the evolution of just this time frame, it was just amazing. You know what I'm saying?
CRTs, the flat screens, the plasmas,
plasmas, the fucking LED from LCD to LED.
Yeah.
To OLED.
Yeah.
So sorry, we're getting off topic. But
yeah.
But the thing is like you have to be able to identify when you're with a broken person. Okay, you got to identify. You got to type B, broken. Type B, broken. You know what I'm saying? If you're a type A person, you cannot be with a type B person because they're fucking broken and they're going to bring you down. You know what I'm saying? They're going to bring you down. So I don't care how fucking pretty she is. I don't care how good that pussy is, bro. There's other pussy. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Women outnumber men. Women outnumber men, so there's always more women. It's always more fish in the sea.
Worth it. It's not worth it.
Yeah. And you have to recognize that you deserve better. You already said it earlier. You have to recognize that you deserve better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to kind of have the maturity and the understanding and the experience to understand that I deserve more. I deserve to be treated with respect. You know what I'm saying? It's not lack of love. It didn't mean, I'm not saying the woman didn't love me, but she didn't respect me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It ain't lack of love. It's lack of respect. You know what I'm saying? Because if the woman fucking respected you, she wouldn't do this shit.
If a woman respects you, she love you. Because they don't really love you. They just love what you do. Like Snoop Dogg say, you don't love me. You love my doggy style.
Doggy style. Yeah.
There's a song by Anderson .Paak, man. It's called What You Put Me Through. In that song, he mentions the word self-inflicted pain sickness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because in the song, he talks about he's staying around, putting himself through this trauma and this pain with this woman. He could leave at any time. But for some reason, he's choosing to stay and keep going through this bullshit with her.
I mean,
you have to recognize your work.
It's hard.
The situation.
For me, it's like I was not always stone cold. I was not always fucking stone cold. You know what I'm saying? I am now.
It doesn't matter what you.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. I wasn't always stone cold. I was kind of just a hopeless romantic, like for real. When I was committed, I was committed. And I trusted. When I trusted, I trusted. And it just got to the point where it just like, nobody tells the truth. Nobody's going to be 100% 100 with you about, their secrets, their this. They always have a plan B. You're always being set up. You're being held in purgatory. If they're not totally happy with you, they're not going to give you. They're not going to allow you to grow with them, but they will exhaust you of your resources. You have to kind of identify when you're going through that, when you know that somebody's put you like, in the shackles where they ain't going to let you go, but at the same time, they ain't going to fuck with you either. You got to be able to identify that you're in purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you cannot subject yourself to that trauma because that's what's going to happen to you. Because what's going to end up happening is it's going to make you bitter. It's going to make you bitter, and you're going to punish the next woman. You're going to punish, as a man, you're going to end up punishing the next woman because you're going to start thinking that all women are like that, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not. And I know in our previous shows we're talking about modern women versus traditional women, this, that, and the other. But I mean, I'm just kind of talking about from a man's perspective on the trauma that fucking men go through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're not all whores. You know what I'm saying? It's the shit that they put us through that makes us that way. You know what I'm saying? It's the shit that they put you through that makes you that way, that makes you not care anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like
because nice guys finish last. And so you like, man, forget all this shit. Man. I'm just finna plant my flagpole everywhere. Yeah, and keep it moving.
Hit the like button, fool. But
so keep moving.
So I'm like around 35 at the time. Actually, when did I start going to Thailand? 30? No. 30. Yeah. My 30. Yeah. So around my 30th birthday, I'm kind of going through all this bullshit, and I'm just fucking miserable. I'm fucking miserable. And I remember, I never forget this. My mom is like, you know what, David, you should, on your birthday, you should just go anywhere you want, anywhere in the world. Where do you want to go? I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to Thailand. Remember that? I'm like, I'm gonna go to Thailand. I remember my
Yeah.
shipmates in the Navy were always telling me about Thailand, but I've never been there before. I spent time in Central America, South America, but I've never been to Asia. When I went there, it was like a fucking renaissance. It's like, I can't believe that these people treat me the way that they fucking treat me. This is unfucking believable. It was like the greatest experience ever. You know,
Yeah.
like, I couldn't even believe the shit exists. And I stayed there for 2 weeks and I went back 6 months later and I stayed there for a month. Stayed there for a fucking month. You know, granted, biggest whore on the planet. Didn't give a fuck.
Hey,
you know
I remember one time, man, you
Yeah.
called me, man.
Yeah.
I was married, and you called me, man. I'm laying in the bed next to my wife at the time.
Yeah.
And you video chat me, and you got 2 chicks in the bed with you. I'm laying there with my phone. And my wife, I said, oh. I said, I hung it up. I said, hey, bro, give me a heads up, man. My wife right here.
There's a special place in hell for me. I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna be in trouble because of something you doing.
There's a special place in hell for me. That was a bucket list. They were identical.
I
Remember that?
sent the thumbs.
Identical twins.
Yeah. I sent the thumbs up emoji. Yeah, there you go.
Hit the like button, fool. But you know what? Again, I was troubled. You know what I'm saying? I was a troubled person, and I was in recovery. You know, but believe it or not,
self-medication.
Believe it or not, it is the best. Yeah. It is the best self-medication ever. To kind of go out there and learn your fucking worth. That's all. So if you get anything more than just that, you go out there, and you can have whatever you want, whenever you want, and what you start to realize is you don't put so much value in what I used to put all this value in, because I used to seek validation through my woman, the woman that I loved. I used to seek my validation through how she felt about me, how she treated me, which is backwards. It's wrong.
Yeah, you got to know that you the shit. It's got to be in you.
Which is backwards. It wasn't in me. So the thing was, that was not in me because I was never trained. It was never instilled in me as a child. You know what I'm saying? It was never. I was never taught this. I had to learn this shit on my own. So while I'm knee deep in the thick, you know what I'm saying? I'm learning. You know what I'm saying? And after you kind of go through all of this, you start to realize, like, man, I'm not going to go back to this bullshit. So when I came back to America, I'm not looking at these bitches the same. I'm like, y'all hoes can go fuck yourselves. Like, for real. You can, literally. With the 10-foot pole, you bitches can go fuck off. And the thing was, I'm still mad. I'm still mad because I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? Because they said some really mean and insensitive and cruel things to me, which I can't get past. And then on top of that, at the time, I was overweight. I was almost 300 pounds. I'm like 147 pounds right now. I lost half my body weight. You know what I'm saying? But I remember these same women, they had nothing positive to say to me, and they fucking sit there and they would talk about you. They talk about your person. You know what I'm saying? If they don't have nothing on you, they're going to talk about your person. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah.
It's the dirtiest trick in the book.
You bet not dare nothing, say nothing back to them.
Oh, God damn. Don't talk about the big back bitches or the flat ass bitches, the SpongeBob SquarePants bitches. You can't do that. Oh, that's violation, right? Wrong. I don't think so. What's good for you is good for me. But the thing is like, I'm like, you know what? I learned my value. I spent about 5 years abroad. I got my mind right. I got my philosophies right. I learned my worth. It was kind of like, what do you call that? Divine intervention.
Oh, yeah.
I needed that. You know what I'm saying? I needed that. And when I came home, what I got from that is like, you know what? I deserve better. I know my worth, and I will not settle for nothing. I will not settle for nothing greater than the bar. And that's where it's been to this day. You know what I'm saying? And now I have the life experience, and I have the confidence, not the arrogance, but I have the confidence to demand what I deserve. And if I don't get that, then please, with all due respect, fuck off. peace, love and hair grease, you know. And that's kind of where we are. But the thing is you have a lot of people that want to sit there, and they have a lot of modern women today, American women, modern women. And again, I'm not demonizing American women. I'm not demonizing modern women. Let just for 2 minutes, let's go and backtrack. Okay, what is the cause? What is the root cause of modern women? Okay, the root cause of modern women today is the absence of the father or the male in the home. It's the absence of the father or the male role model in the household, which causes beta men. It causes men being raised by women, which makes them weak, which makes them soft, which makes them emotional. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? Sounds like somebody we know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you don't rationalize anything because you're emotional. Men are rational. Women are emotional.
Yeah.
You feel me? Women seek validation. Women seek validation through others. That's why they always want to be better than, or look better than, or be seen in, or you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I know. I got 4 daughters, so I know.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is, and again, I'm just kind of backtracking. We're just backtracking. Stream of consciousness. Okay. Modern woman. So what ends up happening is you have a woman that has a child out of wedlock, right? She doesn't know any better. So she has to wear 2 hats. She has to wear the mom hat, and I got to wear the dad hat. And she's doing the best that she can. So of course, she has to kind of learn how to be a little aggressive and a little more gruff and a little more, hot around the collar, or whatever it is that she has to be. That's not her normal character. So that's her.
If she picked the wrong dude, she wearing the dad hat. But if she she just didn't get married and she picked a good dude, he's gonna still be a father even if they're not together. But a lot of times they pick the wrong dudes and then they wind up wearing both hats.
Correct. So what ends up happening is now she's wearing the dad hat. She's wearing the breeches, and she's, she doesn't know how to identify somebody who's good if it was right in front of her. She doesn't know how. She can't identify what's good in front of her. And then on top of that, she's raising her child, to be something that he's not supposed to be. She's raising a young boy to be, feminine, or she's punishing this young boy because she has a problem with her father, with his father, right? You know what I'm saying? I remember what was that example you were telling me about?
There's another one is they're raising son husbands. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they try to make they're trying to make their sons
their husbands
into the dream man that they wanted.
It's very common. So here we are. Here we are today. You have these broken children, right? These broken children that can't stand up for themselves. They're getting punked by women, right? Right. And then you have these women that are so aggravated that nobody wants to talk to them because they're acting masculine. You know what I'm saying? They're acting masculine. So the masculine men that meet these hybrid women or these modern women or whatever you want to call them, they're turned off. They're like, look, you need to tone that shit down a notch, or I can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm just going to go elsewhere where, the standard is traditional. Where the knob is back to normal. Your knob is on overdrive, and I just can't deal with you. So you're going a little too hard. So the problem is that's a trauma for them. That double hat that they had to wear, that's traumatic for them. That's a traumatic experience that they can't even address because they refuse to accept the fact that it was a trigger, that it was something that was wrong that happened in their life. You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of that too is outside influence. Their girlfriends.
Well, yeah, they're going to act similar. But the thing is, it's similar because it's common.
Yeah,
it's common. It's common to them because their other girlfriend's got a sorry ass situation. So it takes one to know one.
In this country, they push single mothers, even though it's not good. Most people that are in prison come from single female mother homes. Yep. They push it on TV. Oh, you're so strong. You know what I'm saying? All this kind of crap.
Well, here's the other problem as well. I mean,
in the other parts of the world, it ain't pushed because they know if they got a kid by themselves, it's pretty much over.
Oh yeah, ain't nobody gonna take care of you. So here's the interesting part. If you turn on like a commercial in America, you watch like Lowe's, Home Depot, something that has to do with some masculinity. What do they show? A guy who doesn't know how to fix anything, like he's useless. That's the narrative.
They show a clumsy buffoon.
Yeah, that is the narrative. That's the narrative. Is like that. That the man of the household is, not the man of the household. That he's not assertive. That he's not intelligent.
He's dumb, incompetent.
Yes, exactly. We need to hire a handyman. I remember when we were in school, we took auto mechanics. They don't do that shit no more. You know what I'm saying? We're being dumbed down. You know what I'm saying? So, the issue here is like, I'm not demonizing modern women. I understand. What I'm saying is I understand modern women. I understand how it happened. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is when a modern woman, meets a alpha traditional man, you need to turn it down a notch and let him be a man, and you will have a successful relationship. It will work. But you have to be able, Mrs. Modern Woman, you have to be able to identify your trauma that you went through while you were going through that experience, through that process, because that was not normal. That ain't normal. As normal as it may seem to you, it's not.
Yeah, and it's not my responsibility to fix your trauma.
Thank you.
It ain't my responsibility.
Thank you. And nor is it my nor should I be punished. Nor should I be punished for your trauma that happened to you.
You got some motivational speakers and some influencers that like, you should stick with her through and stay by her side through this. It's like, nah. Well, I'm gonna put myself through this hell when I can find somebody that matches what I want in my life that ain't got all this crap going on with them.
Right. So here's the narrative is in America, or just the narrative is period, is that we are supposed to ride it out until you get it right. No. No. Why don't you just ride it out together? Why? I've already been down that route already. I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I've given you one warning. I said if it happens again, it's curtains. Okay. Yeah. And of course they're gonna step up. They're line steppers, and they're gonna test you, and they're gonna
habitual line steppers.
Yeah. They're gonna try to pull your fucking card, and so then what happens is, here's the crazy part. Like I said, crazy knows crazy. The bitch is gonna want to fight you when you actually want to leave. She's gonna want to fight you, or she's gonna call the police, or she's I've had the fucking police. This woman called the fucking sheriff on me when I told her to leave my house. The woman I knew was fucking cuckoo. I knew she was cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? I knew this. I didn't try to change her. I knew the bitch was crazy. I was just having fun, this, that, and the other, and it was just plutonic. It was nothing serious. And then one day,
I got one for you.
One day, hold on. This is good. One day, she just like refused to fucking leave. I'm like, she was just staying too long. And usually, like when people are here too long, I get claustrophobic. I'm like, look, I think it's time for you to go. Like, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going fucking nowhere. You got to call the fucking laws on me. This bitch is crazy. I'm like, this bitch is like literally told me to call the fucking sheriff. So I did. I called the fucking sheriff. I'm like, get this bitch out of my house. How dare you call the fucking police on me? Like, oh my God, we're really going through this. Like, you still gotta go. He's on the way. He's on the way, and this is going on your fucking record. So, like, if you ever get a lease or some shit like this, it's just gonna be on your fucking record. All right, your turn.
Oh yeah, I used to know this female. She was a stripper, and her background was crazy. She was crazy about me. I wasn't crazy about her. I just used to hang out with her.
Yeah.
And she was crazy about me because I wasn't trying to chase her. Everybody else was crazy about trying to get in her drawers, and she was crazy about me because I was the one that wasn't trying to. Yeah. I didn't. She was like,
how come she doesn't want me? That's that validation.
And she was like, I like you because you act like you don't like me.
I'm like, I don't.
Like you don't want to have sex with me.
I don't.
I don't.
I don't. You don't turn me on.
I don't.
Yeah.
So one night, man, I'm chilling with my buddies. I'm at a bar. I'm chilling with my buddy. She called me up, and she was like, "What you doing?" I said, "Man, I'm at the bar." And then she was like, "Hey, you want to stop by? I'm at this other place." And I said, "Yeah, I'll swing by and come see you." So I met her at the place she was at. She was drunk off her ass. So I followed her back to her home to make sure she got home safe. Got her back home, helped her up the stairs, helped her into her apartment. She said, "Man, I'm finna go lay down." So she went, she takes her clothes off. She goes in the back, goes in the room, take the clothes off. She come back in the living room, she butt naked. I said, "All right, man, you home?" I said, "I'm finna go head back to the bar, go finish hanging with my buddies." "Where you going? You gay or something?" I say, "Huh?" She said, "You don't want to hang with me? You don't want none of this? Why you want to go hang with some guys?" I said, "Man, you good? Yeah, I'm finna go hang with the buddies."
Yeah.
She runs, and she jumps in front of the door.
Oh man, butt naked.
She tells me if you try to leave,
titties and everything.
If you try to leave, I'm going to call the police and tell them that you raped me.
Ooh.
Then she goes, "If you touch me, I bruise easily." So I was thinking about trying to get her from in front of the door so I can get the hell up out of there. She lived on the second floor. I'm thinking about jumping out the window.
Spider-Man!
Yeah. So she like, and then she grabbed one of her stripper heels and threw it. Ooh, so she threw it at me. I dodged it, man. The stiletto stuck in the wall.
Yeah,
boom! It's just in the wall. So I said, "Man, this mom trying to kill me."
Yeah.
And so, man, I had to juke her like I was on the field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I grabbed her and tripped her and laid her down softly on the carpet.
You said softly. I laid her down softly, which means something else.
I sweeped her and I laid her down. And then I jumped over and I went outside, opened the door. Man, she was up so quick.
I love those adjectives.
And I had a hoodie on. So I go out the door, man. She grabbed my hoodie and jerked me back. Yep. I turned around, man.
That shit snap.
I turned around. I knocked her arm up to break her grip on my hoodie.
Freedom.
Mushed her, closed the door.
That's fucked up.
Jumped in my truck and hauled ass. Jeez. Never came back.
Was that the last time y'all ever spoke?
Yeah, that was the last time.
Oh man.
I seen her in the bank one time, in the bank parking lot, and because I wouldn't talk to her, she tried to key my truck.
All right, I got a story for you. Here we go. All right, I don't know if I can top this one, but it's pretty close. Woman I married.
Got a gang of them, bro.
Oh no, we're married. We're married, right? She came home. She was drunk, and then she I don't know what the fuck happened. I didn't want to fight her. That's what it was. I came home from work, and I didn't feel like fucking with her. I didn't want to fight with her, and she was like talking all kinds of shit, and this, that, and the other. So I'm sitting on the couch. She's on the other couch, and she's like, "I'm gonna call the police and say that you're beating on me." And I'm looking at her. I'm like, "Wow, this motherfucker here." It's like, "I'm gonna call the cops right now, and I'm gonna say you whooped my ass," And she had like a sock with some fucking oranges, and I'm like, "Wow, this motherfucker here, you got to be kidding me," you know what I'm saying? And so I try to leave. Mm-hmm. And she grabs a fucking glass. She grabs a fucking glass and tries to break the fucking glass. And she broke the fucking glass. And she swung at my neck. This bitch tried to kill me. You know what I'm saying? So all I was trying to do is get the fuck out of the house. So I get my truck, and she comes chasing after me. And I'm driving down, base housing. This is in New Jersey in the snow. And so I'm over here driving. I get in my 4x4. I'm taking off. She gets behind me in a fucking BMW. She side swipes my car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to get the fuck out of there because, like, the problem is, like, in the military, you are fucking guilty until proven innocent. Fucking innocent. You're guilty until you're proven fucking innocent. I knew after that little shindig happened. Because here's the thing: what happened was she tried to start some shit with me, and I don't want to hear it. And then she said she called her ex-boyfriend. That's what it was. And I wanted I just like, I'm married. We're married. You're thinking that we're here, and you bring it back down to here. You know what I'm saying? And I said my piece, but I didn't touch her. And I think that's what she wanted. She wanted me to hit her. She was trying to bait me to fucking hit her, and I wouldn't. And And I'm like, you know what? Because I'm thinking, man, if I hit this woman, dude, I'm gonna go to the brig. They're gonna put me in the brig. So I gotta get the fuck away from her. So then the bitch tried to kill me. She fucking grabbed a fucking glass, shattered the glass, and swung from my neck. This bitch, she tried to fucking kill me. So then I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So I ran out the house. I got my car. I'm driving back towards the base. This bitch cuts me off. Fucking crash your goddamn car. My car, which I paid for. And after that, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I didn't even get out of my car. I'm like, man, whatever. Go home.
Yeah.
So and that was that. After that, I called my mom. Like, look, I need to file for divorce. I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just every day I was coming home to that shit. You know what I'm saying? And then the other time, you were there. You were there for this. The other time I was dating fucking crazy crazy in, and this chick was fucking stalking me. You know what I'm saying? Like from the first day that we met, she refused to fucking let me out of her sight. Out of her fucking sight. We were at the club one time, and I'm sitting down with T-Swin, and she came across the club to basically tell the woman that he's with that I'm with her. What kind of shit is that? This is crazy. And then the other time we were having dinner, and she's calling me on my phone, telling me I don't see you. Come outside.
We was at Hooters.
Yeah, it's like I don't see you.
We sit
Come
down
outside.
eating.
I don't see you.
So she called him, and she said, "What you doing?" He's like, "Man, I'm sitting down with Tony. We eating at Hooters." She was like, "Well, I don't see you."
Yeah, man.
I say, "What?"
I can't.
And then I look out the window of the restaurant, and I can see her car passing through the parking lot.
I can't make this shit up.
I said,
Come outside. I don't see you. Come outside.
I say, you need to leave her alone, bro. You need to leave her alone.
I didn't leave her alone. Crazy love crazy. At the time, here's the fucked up part. The fucked up part was, this is the truth. The truth was I was having fun with her, but she was serious about me. I was playing games with that woman, but she was very serious about me because I told her that I loved her, and she believed me. So, men, don't say some shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't say some shit that you can't back up. If you truly love the woman, say it. But if you don't love her, be honest. Don't bullshit.
Yeah, tell her from the get-go. Say, hey, this ain't gonna be nothing serious.
Yeah. But at the time, I'm gonna take the L on this one. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I told her that I loved her, and she believed me. And she was just like, she was not letting me go. She's like, no, she followed me. She followed me to Houston. She left town. When I left town, she left town. So things just got real toxic after that, because I had to kind of own my bullshit. You know what I'm saying? At the time, like I said, I was on a wild tear, and I didn't care on who I hurt or what I was going through. I was not an easy person to deal with because I was still I was coping with my demons. You know what I'm saying? I was coping with my trauma. I was coping with my baggage. You know what I'm saying? And that baggage did damage my future. It did. So I'm the blame. I ain't pointing fingers at nobody else. I'm pointing the finger at number one. I am the blame. You know what I'm saying? I had to own that shit. You know what I'm saying? But, men, women, don't drag people through your bullshit. If you're going through something, you got to be honest about what you're going through. It's like, look, I'm kind of going through something right now. I'm going through I'm going over a really bad breakup, or I'm kind of like just going through a growing. I am kind of learning myself right now, and right now I just can't give you what you're looking for.
Yeah,
I don't have the capacity right now to give you what you're looking for. Now we can go out, we can have a good time, but I can't give you anything serious. Please don't demand this of me, because what ends up happening is you could be seeing each other, but then they'll start demanding, for you to be what you told them from day one, what you cannot be. Have you ever experienced that? So as I've gotten older, in my later 30s, when I'm just kind of just being cool Dave, I'm in Colombia, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm just kind of I'm free, I'm loose as a noodle, and what ends up happening is I'm having a good time with whomever at the time, and I told them, like, look, I don't want what you want, and they'll try to force it. they'll try to force the situation, and then I'm over here on the phone with the fucking sheriff, like, get this bitch out of my house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. It's like, man, if you know that you got stuff going on with yourself, don't involve yourself in a relationship. Fix yourself, address your traumas, your stress, your situation, overcome it, get help, move through it, or acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The main thing is identifying the problem. That's key.
And if you're able to see this stuff in other people, and you was thinking about considering a serious relationship, and tell them about themselves. Somebody might have never told them about themselves.
Exactly.
But man, if you see some red flags like that, avoid it.
But here's the crazy thing. Like,
I tell all my nephews right now what to avoid.
Here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing was, it took somebody very close to me that pulled me aside. Actually, it was a man, a male, and a female. And the female, she kind of told me, "It's like, David, you don't know how to talk to women." It's my friend Kayla. You know, Kayla is awesome. You know, she was.
Now, how you supposed to talk to women?
She was really there for me. She was basically kind of telling me, "It's like, David, you can't talk to women like this. You can't treat them all like objects. You know, you have to kind of be able to identify what's going on with them and just listen. You know, be a friend. Just kind of the thing was, I was just kind of like on this wild tear, and I was very disrespectful. I didn't really know myself. I was very just lost. And she just identified that. It's like, she told me, she's like, look, you're not very.
Yeah, but women want you to listen all day.
But I needed this though. I was at the time, I was not as open-minded as I am now. At the time, I was very closed-minded. Couldn't tell me nothing, and because I knew her for so long, I actually wow, that kind of hurt my feelings that she told me that, but she was right, and I had another friend of mine who told me same thing. It's like, dude, he's like, bro, you really need to kind of look in the mirror, and you really kind of need to check yourself, because sometimes I kind of went off the radar. And when I went off the radar, I went off the planet, and how I get.
Rocket Man.
Yeah. How I get, so
Rocket Man.
So the thing was, it's like it takes a village, at the end of the day. And I thank my circle of influence, for being there for me when I really fucking needed them. Even when I was at my worst, they didn't abandon me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I put so much value in friends, not boyfriends and girlfriends, because boyfriends and girlfriends are what? They're subjective. Your friends last forever. True friends, not acquaintances. True friends will tell you about your bullshit. And it's like, look, bro, you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna check you. You know what I'm saying? Or we need to have an intervention.
You in the quicksand right now, but man, holler at me if you need something, man.
Yeah,
I'll help you point it out.
Well, I'm gonna fuck you up this time. I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can attest to this. I was a very damaged, broken person. Me, David. I was. Yes, I was for many, 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 many years. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that way anymore, because it took me years and years and years of just soul searching and therapy and life coaching and you name it, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Just life experience. I got it all out of my system, and here we are today, and here we are on this podcast. And if you could relate to this, if you can attest to this, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. If you're going through this shit right now, if you thought about this or you know somebody who's going through this, I'm talking to you. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not the only one. I mean, that's why I do this. This is why I do this. This is kind of like my soul talking. It's just like, for years, I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. For years, I did not like myself. I didn't like myself. I put so much value in things that were immaterial. I didn't put value in things that really mattered. the company that I carried, the people that truly love me. I put my value in things, externalities. I thought that if I bought this car, that people would like me. And I thought if I bought people these things, that they would like me. If I, I thought that I could kind of buy my way through things. And what you start to realize is that don't help. All that does is it attracts all the wrong people, right? You know what I'm saying? And what I realized is when I came across, a little bit of success, the people that I thought that were going to cheer me on were my biggest haters. They were the most envy. They're the most envious. You know what I'm saying? And I thought these motherfuckers were in my circle. No. The motherfuckers are talking shit about you when you're gone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, wow, dude. And that shit hurt.
They weren't in your circle. They weren't in your circle. They was in your wallet.
Never were. They never were. They were just there for the take. So you got to ask yourself.
Taking a ride.
You got to ask yourself, is this person truly riding for you, or are they just there for the take? You got to ask yourself this. And I mean, you got to take an honest assessment of the people that you truly call your friend or your lover or whatever. You have to take an honest assessment. Is this motherfucker really there for me? If I go to jail, are they going to bail me out? If I'm sick, are they going to come visit me in the hospital? If I'm dying, are you going to be there? If my children are hurt, are you going to help them? Do my children refer to you as uncle this or auntie this? Are we family? Blood doesn't make you family. Loyalty does. I'm going to say this again. Blood don't make you family. Loyalty does. You know what I'm saying? That's the realest shit I could ever tell you. You know what I'm saying? And, and truly for years, I was very, very, very unhappy. Now it's like I learned to eat by myself, travel by myself, shop by myself, build by myself, not seek people's validation to, for large purchases by myself. I'm self-made. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-made, but it required me to go through the worst traumatic experiences that I was suicidal about. I can count on one hand how many times I wanted to take my own life. I can count on one hand how many times I just wanted to end it all over trauma or addiction or you name it. I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? All I could say is regarding addictions, as far as traumas and triggers is, the storm will pass and the sun will rise. But the main thing is you have to have those people, those friends, that loyalty. When you're going through that storm, you got to make sure that when you fall from that happy line down to that support line, that support, that's your rock and they're subjective and they're going to pull you out that quicksand. They're going to pull you out the mud. They're going to take that gun out your hand. They're going to take them drugs out your hand. They're going to sit there. They're going to talk you off the ledge. You know what I'm saying?
Slap you in the back of the head.
That's fine. That's fine. The most important thing is you have to make sure that whenever you're going through that trauma or whatever it is that you feel, because whatever trauma it is that you're going through, I respect whatever it is. I'm not going to make light of it because whatever it is that makes you feel this way, that puts you on the ledge, it's important. So what the most important thing is the people that you truly hold your value in can talk you off that ledge. You know what I'm saying? And once you get off that ledge, you got to be able to identify that there's some real damage here. And we have to backtrack on where it started, identify how it started, what happened. Is it even real?
Yeah.
Is it even real? Does it
even fucking matter?
Exactly. Does it even fucking matter? Or who are you trying to punish? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do self-destructive things to punish others. You know what I'm saying? Well, if I drink the poison, I want you to die. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people that do that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I really do. Out of all people, I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? But the sun does come out. You know what I'm saying? And the worst thing you could ever do is do something self-destructive to yourself right before you could identify your beauty, before you could identify your worth, before you can identify, your blessing. Moses was sent into the desert, you know what I'm saying, before God had to have that little talk with him. You know what I'm saying? He had to prove his worthiness. Just like everybody, you got to prove your worthiness. Nobody's just going to be given everything. Nobody's gonna be given, all this great opportunity without great loss. Because without great opportunity, you're not going to understand your opportunity without loss, without lessons. You're not going to learn this. You're not going to learn you're not going to learn your worth without trauma. You're not going to learn. You're not going to be able to identify, problem solving techniques on how to grow and how to build philosophical solutions to these kinds of problems, or to kind of help nourish yourself or others, your children, and so on and so forth. So if you see damage, or for example, my girlfriend today, the woman that I love, I identify things, small triggers with her boy. I'm trying to fix them. I'm trying to fix them now before he becomes a man, and I see self-destructive things that that can happen as he becomes a man. I see this already, and I'm trying.
Or he allows somebody to walk over him.
Yeah, I see this already, and I'm like, not on my watch. I think not. And so she's kind of giving me the respect to kind of like, okay, be a man, fix him. I'm like, so I'm kind of just spending my time spoon feeding, just kind of gradually earning that trust. And once you kind of earn that trust, then I could sit there and pull them aside, like, what's going on? Talk to me. I'm not going to judge you. So the main thing is like, whenever you're kind of going through this, and whenever you finally identify that there is an issue, you got to talk about it. You got to address the issue. That's rule number one. You got to address the problem, identify the problem, and you got to talk about it. And you got to allow that. You have to allow, the everything to come to the surface, and it's going to hurt, but you heal. You know what I'm saying? That's so important. No, you're never going to grow. You're going to stay in that bubble, and history will always repeat itself. If you do not identify the problem will reoccur. It will reoccur, and you're going to keep going through men and different baby daddies and different children. And now the thing is, you're having children and children and children and children and children repeating the same fucking, destructive process. Do you see what I'm saying? It's unhealthy, and here we are today, modern woman. There we go. You see what I'm saying? So I hope I didn't.
But also another thing for that too is that women have been incentivized to be by themselves.
Of course,
because they can get child support, spousal support,
housing vouchers, WIC. You know what I'm saying?
So I used to work with a cat. His sister, she had 5 different baby daddies. She made sure that she went after guys that worked at chemical plants because they make over 6 figures. Yep. So she made sure that she got a kid from guys they all made 6 figures.
It's like basketball.
To support the lifestyle that she wanted.
It's like basketball.
And then some guys, a couple guys she would marry. She stayed married. I think 2 guys she married. She stayed long enough so she could take half of their 401k.
There was a 10-year.
And she did work to her body, so she got her body done. She got a boob job and all that kind of stuff to keep herself appealing, so she can catch her next victim. She can
catch her a trick.
And he said this. He said, "Man, I can't stand her." He said, "It's my own sister," and he said, "I can't stand her." But there's some people that look at that, they see it as a come up and an easy win. It's like, hey, I can get this money. I can get 20% from this guy, 20% from this guy, 20% from this guy.
You got to work no more.
Scam.
Why do you think you see basketball wives going from one ball player to the next, one ball player to the next, one ball player to the next?
Well, they've been conditioned. They've conditioned themselves in a lifestyle hanging around these people, and they feel like that's their new level of life. and then they have to try to sustain it. So they're looking for somebody who's on the same level or close to it or above it to keep this lifestyle that they feel like they deserve, that they didn't earn or work for. You know what I'm saying? I used to do security at the Toyota Center, and I used to see all kind of women coming in, damn near with their bodies falling out of their clothes, badly covered, because they're trying to grab a basketball player. Some of these women even had their kids with them. They didn't care that they had their child with them. They coming in with no panties on and no bra. Breast about to fall out their shirt. They got their child there with them. You know, the son they're looking like, man, my mama need to cover up. But she don't care. She trying to catch a ball player. And then you had the nerve to tell her, what are you looking at? And then look. What you looking at?
It's like going to the gym.
If I were James Harden, you wouldn't be trying to cover up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who's really the bad person, me or you?
Exactly. Alexa, game room on. My lights cut off. Like that shit.
But man, when it comes to this baggage, man, some people they come with baggage, and you have to be a smart enough person to recognize it. You have
to have life
avoid it.
The main thing is you have to be able to have the fucking life experience to be able to identify bullshit. You got to have the life experience to be able to understand a toxic environment and understand an unwinnable situation. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you also have on the inverse, you still have to have the life experience to understand when you got a good one. And don't take that shit for granted, because once they're gone forever. So you can't allow your bullshit or your trauma to run this woman off. Because I have a friend of mine who's going through that shit right now. You know, I have a buddy of mine who's going through that shit right now. He's just kind of a negative Nancy, and he finally met this really amazing woman. And it's like he's allowing his depression and all this shit to run her off. I'm like, bro, you need to get in control of that shit. Because once she's gone, she's gone. And then more importantly, once she loses respect for you, that's a wrap. You know, you don't want to be a beta male to this woman. If she's already submitting to you, then you need to be alpha, and you need to be assertive about what's going on. You know, so you know when you got a good thing, appreciate it and make it and recognize you know the signs. But if you're in an unwinnable situation, then walk away.
Sometimes you don't see people's baggage until sometimes you don't see their baggage until you live with them.
This is true.
Sometimes that happens too.
This is true. But
demons start coming out when they start drinking, and then you start hearing a bunch of shit, and you
start hearing the truth.
Man, who did I get with?
Yeah, I learned that.
You know what I'm saying?
I learned that the hard way when I got involved with my.
Like you were saying earlier, when you first meet somebody, you're meeting their representative.
You don't know them.
You
don't know them. You mean the representative. You don't know them until they let their hair down. You know,
I've been with somebody, and we was together 3 years, and then they got drunk one night and told me how they had a cocaine problem. Dude, you know what I'm saying?
I was like,
and then how they told me how that the person before me, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what? Well, I thought you was with this person before me. Then you start hearing about this other person and all the crazy shit and how this person.
You hear about these buffer relationships, the ones they didn't talk about.
Yeah, way beneath this person, way beneath you. Dude. And they didn't went through all this bullshit with that person. Bro. You're like, so this why this shit is popping up and it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, and God forbid if you're already married to him.
Yeah. I was involved with this one chick that had opioid addiction. This chick was passing out in front of me like this, like drooling on herself and this, that, and the other. The fucked up part was my same homie, you know, didn't warn me about it. His chick got her hooked on the shit. It's like you could have fucking warned me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So your chick got my chick hooked on this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like bro. And it was right after we got serious. Right after we got serious, I find out. You know, we move in together, and I find out she's fucking addicted to opioids. So every day I come home, I have to deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, that ain't last. That ain't last at all.
Yeah.
But the fucked up part was somebody close to me knew and didn't tell me. Yeah.
That sucks when somebody knows
and they didn't warn me.
And they supposed to be your friend or your buddy.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have some people that say some stupid shit like this. Well, if I told you wasn't gonna leave anyway. It's like, nah, motherfucker, you would have told me from the get-go, I would have avoided this person.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah. But, you know.
I don't get in the middle of people's relationships.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hit the like button, fool. But yeah, man. I mean, I've been through it. Been through it, got the t-shirt. Been through it, got the t-shirt. The sad part is most people, like the things that we're describing, a lot of people have not gone through. You know what I'm saying? Or they would actually put up with it. They would just kind of think, well, you know, he loves me. Well, you know, he takes care of me. So I'm just going to put up, or vice versa. I'm just going to have to put up with it. You know, no, you don't. No, you don't. Or, man, she fine. Man, she fine. She got a fat ass.
But it's too short to be torturing. You know how many fat asses there are around the world?
She tried to slit my throat the other day, but she got a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro.
There's so many fat asses around the world without drama.
Drama-free fat ass.
Drama-free. Like they say, sugar-free diet. Drama-free ass.
Drama-free.
Yeah.
Of course, the thing that's Roger part about drama-free diet, Dr. Pepper. But yeah, dude. If you don't drive a Ferrari, you ain't shit. But yeah, dude. You just have to be able to identify the signs. You know what I'm saying? 3 things. Identify the signs within yourself, your mate, and or identify if it's just an unwinnable situation, and whether they're willing to even accept constructive criticism that they have a problem. You know, because a lot of people don't want to be told they have a problem. They don't want to be told. They're like, I don't want to be told that I'm not going to go to somebody for them to tell me that I'm wrong. A lot of mostly women, they do not like being told they're wrong. They ain't never gonna admit they're wrong. They ain't never gonna happen. Never. You know, they'll fight with you before.
That's why I tried to get mine. That's why I tried to get mine to come to counsel, because I wanted the counselor to, you're wrong. And shoot, when I finally did, I had to trick her to come into counseling, and we finally did go to my counselor to the side. She say, "I'm gonna tell you this. Ain't no helping that one. Her mind, she got a bunch of trauma. She got separation issues. When her mind go left, it go way left. She said, ain't no helping that. She said, either you put up with it or you leave." Yeah. And I was like, man, I thought you supposed to give people like, points and tips and, give us a little exercise. She said, either you gonna stay and put up with this bullshit or you leave. And I suggest you leave.
That one missed the boat. That one missed the boat. When we went to counseling, I was like, what I learned out of fucking family counseling was fighting fair. Don't punch below the belt. And this bitch was a line stepper. She'll punch right below the belt. They always want to bring up shit. They always want to bring up shit at the most opportune time. They want to sit there and bring up like vulnerable moments at the most opportune time. You know what I'm saying? They want to sit there and bring up old shit. And you're over here trying to grow, but they want to bring up old shit. And like what they taught us in counseling is that's punching below the belt.
Yeah.
And you're not allowed to do that. You got to fight fair. You know what I'm saying? They don't fight.
But fair. we know that women are really good at that because they can't physically beat you. They can't physically beat you up, so they have to beat you up with their tongue.
They want to embarrass you. They want to embarrass you.
And me and my guys have had this conversation. That's why you don't open up to women.
No, never.
Because they will take that information and use it against you.
Oh, they'll run with it.
Now, if you got to open up, you open up to your homeboys. You know what I'm saying? You open up to your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because they men. They can give you some pointers. They might have dealt with the same thing.
They're non-judgmental.
You don't open up to your lady. If it ain't dealing with the finances or taking care of home, man, don't open up to her because she's gonna use that against you. First opportunity, y'all get in an argument.
Never. Yeah, it's gonna come up, and then more importantly, you're gonna show weakness. You're gonna show a sign of fucking. If you fucking cry in front of your woman, if you cry in front of her, unless somebody fucking died, unless somebody fucking died or some shit, you don't ever sit there and show fucking weakness or show fear or uncertainty or whatever, because in their mind that is a sign of failure, a sign of weakness, and they're gonna plan B your ass, and they're just gonna I'm just gonna exhaust his resources. I'm gonna cheat on this bitch. He's gonna wear pants. He wears panties now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wear a strap on.
That's why when women be like, "What's wrong?" Nothing. What's wrong? Nothing.
The thing is, most guys just don't fucking just leave. You know, it's like if you just feel like I'm just not happy anymore, and it's just like, you know, I can't say this word, irrevocable. I can't say the word. You know the word, whatever that word is. Irrevocable, is that the right word, or is it irrevocable? I don't know. I don't know the right word. Anyway, I went to public school. I'm sorry. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, so most guys, when they see the first sign of like red flags, like, you know, they just don't go. You know what I'm saying? I think if more people just kind of just, you know, just knew their worth and demanded respect, less of this would happen. It's the fact that because men tolerate this behavior, women feel that it's just accepted. It's like, well, you got to handle me. You got to, you know, you got to be able to handle a woman like me. No, I don't need to handle shit. You know, when I come home, I want peace and quiet, and you're supposed to be, you know, my joy to come home to. I don't want to come home to aggravation and somebody nagging me about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing, chores that are not being done, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Otherwise, what the fuck am I coming home here for? It's supposed to be my refuge. But, you know, the problem is you have people that tolerate this behavior. To their mind, they feel that it's acceptable. And, you know, oh, because I got a fat ass, that allows me to act out because I think I'm pretty, because I have a, you know, a temporary clock that maybe for 3 years I might, I might be desirable by, you know, from 18 to 35, you know. No.
Yeah, you got some. Let's see, too, man. For dudes too, you have some women that be like, "Well, he just want to run away from everything. He want to leave." Sometimes leaving is your superpower. Sometimes a woman will break her neck to try to keep you if she know that you're gonna leave.
I'm gonna give you some game, folks. I'm gonna give you some game,
you have
folks.
to recognize
Silence is golden.
That too.
Sometimes
I kill more people with silence and turning my back, and
silence is golden.
No argument, no.
Nah, it's not worth it. You know, you kind of have to come to a stage in your life where you have to pick and choose your battles, and you got to pick and choose whether you can. It's like you got to ask yourself. And I life coach. I have a friend of mine who I life coach. I have the same conversation with her, not him, her. You know, and I'm like, look, when you address a problem with a man, you got to ask, number one, you got to ask yourself, can I win? Right? The first thing you got to ask yourself is whatever message I'm trying, whether it's good news or bad news, if I'm trying to, deliver a message that's bad, to my mate, number one, can I be able to deliver the message and he disseminates it and we both walk away and, with a good attitude? If the answer is no, you got to pick and choose your battles. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain things you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? You don't poke a sleeping bear. You know what I'm saying? Or deliver the message a little different. So some people kind of feel that I could act out and have bad behavior and be passive aggressive and be disrespectful or not or ignore you or the passive aggressive shit I can't deal with. If you have something on your mind, fucking say it or shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. You know what I'm saying? If you got something on your mind, fucking say it or get out of my house. Because I don't have to pay for this. And a lot of people don't understand that till you throw them out. It's like at the end of the day, you will give me respect or you will leave. And a lot of people don't exercise that option. He's like, look, you know what? I don't have to deal with this. My happiness is, my joy, my sanity, my peace of mind is more valuable than any piece of ass you could ever give me. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it.
And I can get some ass without a headache.
Yeah. And a lot of women kind of think that that is the power that they have over you. They're like, well, I'm holding this ass. Come on, come to the ass. What do you mean you don't want it? Yeah. They think that they can control you with a piece of ass, and it's like, God damn, dude. It's like, are we that fucking shallow? Do you think that so little of me? You know what I'm saying? So it's just
is that all you got to offer?
Thank you. Thank you. Where is your substance? You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother topic. But
Mm.
but yeah, I mean, I guess in conclusion, because we're about an hour and 30 minutes. In conclusion, it's like, look, everybody has baggage. Identifying the baggage is the real challenge. Identifying how it happened is the biggest challenge. Identify, the trauma that happened to you, when it happened, how you felt when it happened, and is it repeating itself? You know what I'm saying? And
Is it
and so
affecting your daily life right now?
exactly. And more importantly, whether this trauma that happened to you when it happened originally, the very first time, was it your fault? You know what I'm saying? Or did it just happen to you and you're blaming yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because some people, may have had something that happened to them that was out of their control, and they're blaming themselves for why this happens, and they're allowing these things to fuck their life up as an adult. Sometimes you're just a victim, and you have to be able to identify the fact that I was a victim. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we are. But some people, that come from abusive relationships, abuse only understands abuse. Like what I said previously, nice guys finish last. Well, it's like, well, the woman that I was married to, what she was accustomed to was, drug dealers that beat her ass. I wasn't a drug dealer. I didn't beat her ass. I spoke the King's English, so she didn't respect me. She only respected what she was around, her surroundings. She only respected the things that she, was familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
And
And
like I say, man, we have to know our worth. So we
yeah,
have to be
and
able to
demand.
recognize and say,
You gotta
I'm better than that. I deserve better.
know your
Let me pick
worth.
a
Demand,
high caliber
demand your
person.
worth. Yes, know your worth. Demand your worth. And I mean, if anything is greater than what know your worth and fucking demand it. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't get it, leave.
Mm-hmm.
Case closed. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Baggage from the past, equals to or baggage from the past can equal or destroy your future. Period. If you allow it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you allow it. So if you see that there's some trauma, identify it, figure out whether you were the victim or were you the person that was creating it, or were you the victim of it? Identify the trigger that it makes you feel, right? You know, and see the common denominator of that trigger and where you are in your today's life, and you have to numb it. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to identify, okay, well, this happened because of this. Okay. I understand that I was the victim of this, and I no longer feel helpless anymore. I no longer feel this anymore. Whether it was abandonment issues, separation anxiety, sexual abuse, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to
Mm-hmm.
identify that and move on. You cannot always play the victim. You can't always stick your head in the fucking sand. You know what I'm saying? You can't just not address the issue, or you're going to continue to go through the same toxic bullshit with greater or equal toxic people. Because if it takes
Mm-hmm.
one to know one, you're gonna, it takes shit to attract what shit. You know, so that's pretty much all I got to say. You got anything else?
That's pretty much it in a nutshell, bro.
Hit the
We
like
just
button,
trying to
fool.
give y'all some information, man, to recognize some red flags.
Yeah, man.
See the
Yeah,
bullshit
man.
still clear. And if you got bullshit within yourself, fix it. Fix it. Take the necessary steps, therapy, understanding, reading, and time to yourself to fix yourself before you go into another relationship.
And don't drag nobody through your bullshit. If you know that you're not
Nah.
right, if you know that you're not right, if you know that you have damage, or you know that you're not right, do not drag somebody through your bullshit, because it is not fair to them. It's not fair to your growth, and it's definitely not fair for them, because they might have the best intentions for you, and you're going to destroy them. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mm-hmm.
just out of respect, don't drag them through your bullshit.
Yeah.
And I've actually told women that before. Like, I kind of, this one woman told me, it's like, I was like in my early 30s, and I kind of told him, like, I'm kind of in a place in my life right now where I don't want to change. I told her that flat out. I'm like, I don't want to change. This is where I am, and what you want from me, I can't give you. You know what I'm saying? It's just I'm like I'm sorry, Rick James. I'm having too much fun. You know, but
yeah.
So if you kind of know that you're a playboy, then stay a playboy. If you know that you're good, that you want a family and you want this, then just be clear about that. You know what I'm saying? Don't get involved with tricks. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So this concludes the King's Thought of the Day. My boy T-Swin. Like, comment, subscribe below.
Exactly.
T-Swin Music on YouTube.
Hey man, we appreciate you for spending your evening with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Spending evening with us, man, on King's Thought of the Day at tswin.herenow.com. It's everywhere, streaming on all music streaming platforms, and also you can catch me on the main platform. Just like my guy King David here, man. Spotify, Apple Podcast, man. Amazon, Audible, Pandora, Iheart, man. Blog Talk Radio, Stitcher, Good Pods, man. We everywhere.
It feels good, man.
Yeah, everywhere.
So I mean, it feels good to have a platform and just kind of just be open and clear about the shit that really happens. And I mean, again, like if this helps one person, because I had to dig deep on this one. You know what I'm saying? It's very personal, but I'm okay with that. I had to dig deep on this. If this helps one person, then I felt like it was worth it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe below. If you have any questions, I'm here. Feel free to write. If you have any questions, y'all be cool.
Yes, sir. Across the bottom of your screen, man. Subscribe to the King's Thought of the Day YouTube. Make sure you listen to that podcast. We're going to leave y'all with some T-Swin music, Self-Sabotage.
I'm from Texas. I want the main course, not a side piece. I don't want a headache. I want my piece. Act grown, girl, or do you need a high seat? You talking big shit, but you only 5 feet. Come on, I ain't doing you wrong. I know that if you was Medusa, you turn them to stone. But you ain't gotta play no games, so turn on your phone. Girl, I'm something like T'Challa, I sit on the throne. And disrespect is some shit that I don't condone. I know we both got other things that we can focus on. Check your tone, baby girl, I ain't the enemy. But your attitude is messing with the chemistry. It's on some I'ma get you before you get me. I know the loss of I'ma give you more than 6 feet. Time and space, I remember every time and place. But you ain't the only one that don't got time to waste. She like to self-sabotage, Lord, cause she been scarred by her exes. She like to self-sabotage. I give her love, they gave her hell, that ain't me, I'm from Texas. She like to self-sabotage, Lord, cause she been scarred by her exes. She like to self-sabotage. I give her love, they gave her hell, that ain't me, I'm from Texas.
Hey.
Hit the like button, fool.
Nice.